All right, so first off, let me apologize about the clarity of this video. It's a little blurry. Uh, Nothing I can really fix about that, but let's just go ahead and get to this particular problem here. This problem is asking, and I'm going to rewrite it, it's giving us a problem that says negative 5x minus 4y equals negative 8. And what it wants us to do, if we look over here on the side, it wants us to write it where y equals something. So that's kind of our job, is that we're going to take this entire equation and we're going to set it to be something where it says y equals something. All right, so that's what's happening here. We're rewriting it. So let's go ahead and kind of start at the beginning and go step by step. The first thing that you need to understand is that we're trying to get y alone. So since we're trying to get y alone, we need to go ahead and get rid of this guy first. All right, we're going to get rid of that entire thing. And the way we do that is, this case, we're going to get rid of a minus 5x by adding 5x to both sides. When we do, that cancels out, and that leaves me with a negative 4y is equal to negative 8 plus 5x. All right, so we've just moved all the x's to one side, and we have y's on the other side. But we still need to get y alone, so our job is to get rid of this negative 4. Well, what we have to do in this case is, since that negative 4 is multiplying by the y, we're going to divide by negative 4, but we're going to do that on both sides. And remember, when we do it on both sides, it's actually a distributive property that is happening here on this side, which I'll highlight for you. So this is another way of doing distributive property, but instead of multiplication, it's with division. So what does that leave us? Well, this leaves me with y equals. And like I said before, we are doing the distributive property here. So that means that I want to take negative 8 and I'm going to divide that by negative 4. Well, when negative 8 divided by negative 4, that gives me a positive 2. And now I'm going to do the distributive property again, but I'm going to take the 5 and I'm going to divide by the negative 4. And 5 divided by negative 4 is actually going to give me a negative 5/4, and then, of course, our x. All right? So that is our concept here, is you're trying to get y alone. All right? So let's see if we can do another one real fast, and I'm going to make up a point off the top of my head. So same type of problem. I'm going to have negative 3x plus 2y equals 16, all right? My job is to change it into y equals something. Basically, we're changing it into that y equals mx plus b. That's kind of what we're doing right now. And my screen is lagging. Okay. Anyway, so what do we need to do? We need to get rid of the x's and put it on the other side. So I am going to get rid of a minus 3x by adding 3x to both sides of my equation. When I do, that cancels out, and that leaves me with 2y is equal to 16 plus 3x. Now my job is to get rid of the 2. And since it's multiplying here, I am going to divide both sides by 2. When I do, that cancels out and leaves me with y is equal. And like I said earlier, this whole thing is distributive property. So I'm going to take 16, divide by 2, and I will get 8. And then I'm going to do 3 divide by 2, and I'm going to get 3 halves x. And what we've done, as I showed you, is we've actually put that equation in slope-intercept form. I'll give you another one. All right, let's do slightly different. Let's do 3x minus 2y equals 7x plus, I don't know, 15. Okay? And what do you notice on this one? This one, you should notice that there are x's on both sides of my equation, but the procedure is not changing. I still need to get y alone, so it's going to be y equals something, but ultimately we're making, that's lagging really bad. All right, mx plus b. So let's do that. I am going to move my x's from one side of the equation to the other, and the way I do that, since this is a positive 3x, I am going to subtract 3x. And I'm going to do that on both sides, okay? But since these are like terms, I can do that there. This cancels out and leaves me negative 2y equals. And 7x minus 3x gives me 4x plus 15. All right, now I am going to divide by a negative 2 on both sides. This cancels out and leaves me with just y equals. Now, just like we have done before, this entire thing is distributive property. All right, so 4 divided by a negative 2 is a negative 2x. And 15 divided by a negative 2 is a minus 15 halves x. All right. Whoops, not x. Should have said that. 15 halves, just 15 halves. Erase that. I'm sorry. Minus 15 halves. All right. So we have put this into our slope-intercept form. And this same concept happens every time you get a multi-stepped equation. Your job is to solve for one variable. Put it onto one side. Hopefully this will help you.